that decision?
Listen, I've said this, I think, numerous times. The Deshaun Watson was an entire organization decision, and it ends with D&I. So, hold us accountable.
The first step is accountability, Ryan. Do you give Haslam credit for admitting to his mistake?
No, I mean, we all knew this. I mean, listen, the dude only played 19 games. And at the time, it felt like it was more of a decision of figuring out if you wanted the person than the player. The last we saw Deshaun Watson play in Houston, there was only one quarterback in the world that played better than him, and that was Patrick Mahomes. He walked off of the field at times in Houston, and J.J. Watt said, "I am sorry. We have wasted great years of your life." So we thought the quarterback part was going to be the easy part. It was going to be about adjusting and adapting to who he had become from a perception on the outside based on some of the things that he allegedly did. And so for you to say, okay, we're going to get past that. We're going to look past that. You only look past all of those things for one reason, because you thought you had an all-pro, because you thought you had a dude that was going to be the franchise quarterback for the next 8 to 10 years and find a way to win you a Super Bowl. We all know extreme talent gets you extreme tolerance. That's why Deshaun Watson was in Cleveland. And when you only play 19 games, when you're suspended in the first season, when you're injured in every other season, and not only that, when every single time another quarterback is playing and that team is doing better than you, that team is doing better than they did when you were the quarterback, that team seems to be being led in a better way than when you were the quarterback, hell yeah, it's a swing and a miss. All Mr. Haslam doing is doing what billionaires can do. At some point, when you got that much money, you can say, I messed it up. And it was an entire organizational failure for this team. And so now you have Myles Garrett, who is your franchise player, who makes $40 million a year, still saying we need to find the guy at the position. It's not just Jimmy Haslam. It's the entire organization that is saying we messed this up. We didn't get this right. And because we didn't get this right, we're now in a hole.
I agree with what you said, RC, and I don't think Jimmy Haslam had a choice. I mean, the biggest key to him is like, admit it. You know what? We made a mistake. We swung for the fences, and we struck out. The problem that they had, RC, and it still would have been a bad thing, but you realize, Stephen A. and RC, that they gave, on top of the extension that he had signed in Houston, Deshaun Watson had not even gotten to the first year of the extension that he had signed in Houston, when they tacked on more money, Stephen A., and fully guaranteed the contract. Kudos to his agent, David Muguleta. Hey, we talk about Kirk Cousins' agent. Whoo, David got a nice.
Hey, David a monster.
Everything you said, RC.
Let's pause for. I'll let you continue, Shannon, but let's pause for a second.
Go ahead.
David Muguleta, our brother, is doing his thing.
Yeah.
Muguleta, yeah.
That's one of the best in the business. We're gonna take a moment to give that brother some love, no doubt. Go ahead, Shannon.
But you're right. It's because when you sign a player like that, RC, you have to give up so much. Houston got C.J. Stroud, they got Will Anderson Jr., and they got Tank Dell for Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun, I don't know maybe it's the injuries, maybe it's the perception of everybody, walking by and they whispering, and you hear that, and it messed with his psyche. But Deshaun Watson has not looked like, because you mentioned, RC, the last time Deshaun Watson played a full season in Houston, he led the league in passing yards. He did that. Yeah. And you like, a franchise quarterback, there is not enough that you can give up. Because here's the thing, Stephen, and I'm going to turn this over to you. Yep. You couldn't offer Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, or Cincinnati 3 first-round picks for their quarterback. That just goes to show you how valuable he was. It's not enough, because without that foundation, because I can fix anything. If I got a leaky roof, I can fix that, go patch it up. If I got some, moisture in the walls, I can do that. But when there's a crack in the foundation, and the quarterback is the foundation of your organization, when that's messed up, you got hell on your hands.
All right, guys, let's, nothing y'all said is wrong. Nothing y'all said was a lie. But we got to probe a little bit deeper. So when they went after him, like you said, they couldn't give up those picks. They gave up 6 picks for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
three first rounders. 3 first rounders, 6 picks overall, right? And like you said, you couldn't give Baltimore somebody that for Lamar Jackson. They still wouldn't accept it. Remember, Houston didn't want to either, but Deshaun Watson wanted out. He wanted out.
Yeah.
And so we got to remember that. That's number one. Number two, it was 27 lawsuits against the brother when they did it. So one would ask, why did you have to give up that? So again, the only reason I would say this, it's hard to say I can't give Haslam credit when we condemn a Jerry Jones for never admitting that, you know what, you made a mistake, you messed up. So we got to give him credit on that level. Here's where we need to focus our attention. Deshaun Watson's been hurt. He's only played 19 games, 9-10 record. It hasn't been impressive, 61% completions, just 177 passing yards per game, 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, sacked 70 times, a passer rating of 80.7, okay, and the $230 million is guaranteed, right? But knowing that, they still said we hit and miss. You don't hear that about an injured quarterback. You hear that about a brother that people believe can't perform. What the hell has happened to Deshaun Watson? That's really the question here. And then I'm looking at this guy before I'll end it.
Yeah, is it actually physical? Is it more mental? Which created the physical?
Okay,
decline?
I got it.
Everybody can't play the villain.
I got it.
Everybody can't be the villain.
Hold on. Let me go to the details because I got to give the numbers to the audience here. NFL ranks among 44 quarterbacks with at least 500 pass attempts since 2022. Completions, he ranks 40th. Only Zach Wilson, David Mills, Bryce Young, and Will Levis are worse. Pass yards per attempt, he ranks 43rd. Only Bryce Young is worse. Passer rating is 38th. Sack rate, second worst in the National Football League behind Justin Fields. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes it's hard to compartmentalize when there's a lot going on. You know, not everyone's Kobe Bryant. All right, let's leave it there. Coming up, the Kevin.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn tô tượng nhé. Tượng hôm nay của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là chấm giòn. Các bạn, hôm nay tượng của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là Jota. Bây giờ mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nha. Cam đầu tiên nhé.